Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me for my Monday morning leadership here today. You kind of see the new logo back here. We moved to Montana back in November. Unfortunately, we had some unexpected hit. My whole family, including myself, got sick. I got COVID really bad. So we were basically set back for pretty much the whole month of November. So we're just kind of getting back on track with things. Last month, December, we took to pretty much kind of get unpacked and actually moved in, start getting some of the projects on the list scheduled that we could actually make this a home and make some of the changes and upgrades that we need to. So I'm finally back on track here. And I thought, hey, I've got my office set up. January 1st is here today, actually. So what a better time to kind of reboot my Monday morning leadership than to kick off January 1st with a message that I'll post here Monday the 3rd. So guys, thanks again for joining me. What I want to do today, and actually in some of the following, I'm going to share some snippets from a book I'm reading by Gary Vaynerchuk. His recent book out, 12 and a half, Leveraging the Emotional Ingredients Necessary for Business Success. I've been a big fan of Gary's for a number of years. I think the guy's basically one of the most astute marketers. Certainly a guy is top notch on social media. He's on basically every platform. He knows how to leverage them. But I like some of his attitude, what he talks about, soft skills, empathy, kindness, things like that we just don't hear. So I'm going to share real quick some snippets from the introduction here, and we'll go from there. But he talks about, it's hard to gauge 30, 60, 90, or 365 days effectiveness of empathy, kindness, self-awareness in an organization, but the results will play out. And I really believe what he's saying there is true, guys. It's hard to quantify soft skills. So I think sometimes it gets a short shift, it gets pushed aside, and we get into this tough-minded management type thing. But I think he's right on with that. He said, in companies especially, many decisions are predicated on 90-day numbers, right? The short term, the quarter to quarter. And I know if you're guys, many of you are stockholders like I am, we want our portfolios to do well. We want our stock price up, right? Not down. But that short-term mentality, I think, sacrifices the benefits that can be gained by looking long-term and having a long-term perspective and what I call playing the long game. And I know Gary Vaynerchuk's a big fan of that. So he says it can lead to short-term behavior, right? We've seen this. Guys, I studied this when I was in college. I wrote a paper on the auto industry. Their short-term quarter-to-quarter driven business setup really kind of hampered them against the Japanese onslaught, right? But even though many of us are still planning to be in business over the next 5, 10, 20, or even 50 years, we're looking short term. So again, we need to look at the long term, again, the long game, guys. And I think big point he makes here is, unfortunately, the bias toward short-term metrics can make emotional intelligence a, quote, nice to have rather than a requirement, right? It's like, oh, that's kind of nice, but we need to look at these numbers. Numbers are important, guys. I realize that. But he makes a point that soft skills weren't recognized as key to building a successful company. He's obviously proved them wrong. He's done very well. And I think his management style and understanding soft skills is a big thing. I think it's a big thing missing in a lot of leadership and certainly a lot of corporate type managements. We've all seen it, right? He says, ironically, he also believes that the strong survive, right? We have to be strong in business, strong in life. But I believe that leaning into your humanity is the critical strength that will help you survive and flourish, not yelling at someone else in the conference room. Guys, I've never been a fan of that. The old tough-minded management bosses that, do what I do, and they're yelling and screaming, they're bullying people, they're intimidating people. Guys, I don't like that. I don't care for it. I have a big disdain for that. And I think that's what he's saying. That doesn't necessarily work. That doesn't lead you to success. I titled the video today, Leadership Success and Soft Skills, right? I think they go hand in hand and they're important. He also notes that, the black and white is still wildly important, right? We have to have numbers. We have to have metrics to measure how we're doing in business, et cetera. But it's, in his opinion, it's a distant second to mastering soft skills. Think about that. He goes, the 12 of them that he lists in his book here stood out to him after seeing other leaders fall short in deploying them and how that gap made people around them feel. I know I've been a victim to that too. You probably have. And I don't think yelling and screaming at people, threatening them with termination or getting written up, that buzzword really works, guys. Did that work for you? Let me know. I don't think it does. But he says one of the reasons he's writing this book, and this is what led me to want to read it, is to basically cheer for these traits and put a spotlight on them in business. And that's why I wanted to share some of my thoughts on my Monday morning leadership here. And hopefully these will resonate with you, and maybe you'll go out and get his book and read it. But he says, obviously, the greatest challenge to extracting these ingredients is articulating. They're not tangible. They can't be tracked or measured on a spreadsheet, right? So we kind of tend to ignore that in business because you can't run a spreadsheet on or Excel, whatever it is, guys. But I think these are critically important. We need them more and more. Let me know what you think on this, guys. How did this resonate with you? Have you been, how important do you think soft skills is with leadership? What soft skills stand out to you, and how do you think that they're lacking in the business arena out there? Okay, let me know. I'd love to hear, guys. Thanks for joining me. Next week, we're going to look at emotional ingredients, and I'm going to start out with gratitude. So join me next week, guys. Have a happy new year, and thanks for joining me. Have an awesome Monday. Bye-bye.